All right, you all. Welcome to another video of 20-minute training. And for those of you that are watching the replays or you want to watch the replays, engage as always. And we have two playlists for you on YouTube and Facebook. They're both called 20-minute sessions, 20-minute trainings, something like that. You'll be able to find them on our Facebook page, Coach Sean Smith, as well as YouTube, Coach Sean Smith. So today I'm kind of on one today. I don't know. I just woke up feeling. I'm feeling a lot. My beard has bedhead, which I think is fantastic. So I haven't had bedhead in 30 years. So let's just see where this goes. And I decided I want to talk about the inner game of coaching. Now, this is the context of this is going to be for those of you who want to be coaches or are coaches, but these are life lessons. These are foundational principles, and it's really about the truth of being prepared for life. I mean, that's really what it is. And if you want to be successful as a coach, if you want to be successful in business, in entrepreneurship, I mean, really in relationships, and I mean, anything at all, but in the context of coaching, one of the things that we see knock almost everybody out, the people that get knocked out are usually knocked out by these things that I'm going to cover today. And I know this is only going to be part one because there's way too much inner game concepts to break down inside of just 20 minutes, but I'll do part one here in 20 minutes. So the first one is false expectations. Way too many people have false expectations. Now, in the coaching industry, too many people have done their best and they do a pretty good job of selling us lies. They're just lies. Now, I'm not saying that the people that are selling these things to us are intentionally lying, but it is a lie that this is easy. It is a lie that you can just throw your hat out there and everybody's going to run to you. It is a lie that entrepreneurship is easy. It is a lie that you can avoid failure. It's a lie that you can avoid no. It's a lie that you can get everybody to say yes to you. It's a lie that you should just be doing well all the time. It's all fucking lies that so many people have expectations of. And then here's the problem. When the expectation isn't matched, then you have disappointment. And it's really tough to deal with disappointment when the thing that you thought was supposed to be real ends up not being real, and then you're the only problem. Because if you're supposed to follow a recipe that's supposed to produce an outcome and you can't do it, then you're the problem. And if you don't know how to deal with that, and you don't know how to actually create a recipe around the right ingredient, which is you think it's the right ingredient, and you're the wrong, or you think it's the right recipe and you're the wrong ingredient, then all you got to do is look inside and get frustrated with yourself. And then you're probably going to try to make up for the lack of results that you got before to get where you were supposed to get last time, this time, but now you got to do it twice as fast or twice as good because you're trying to make up for all this garbage. And it all comes down to false expectations. What most people are expecting to be true are simply not true. In fact, what most people are expecting to be the standards are impossibilities. So I want you to understand this. Things that are impossible should not be your expectation. And it is impossible for you to be positive all the time. You're not going to be. It's impossible for you to be motivated all the time. You're not going to be. It's impossible for your business to grow all the time. You're not going to be. I heard the other day on a podcast, it stopped my breath. It said the only thing that grows all the time is cancer. And yet we expect ourselves, especially in the context of business, we expect ourselves to just grow all the time. We want our personal development to be growing all the time. And it's just not possible. You cannot win all the time. You cannot get everybody to say yes to you all the time in any form. You can't get rid of fear. You can't get rid of doubt. You can't get rid of pain. You can't get rid of your humanity. You can't get rid of the things that are impossible to get rid of. And unfortunately, most people have those goals as the expectations. Like, as soon as I get rid of my fear, then I'll go do the thing. As soon as I stop doubting myself, then I'll be able to attract clients. Then I'll be able to attract success. As soon as I stop feeling all this pain, then I'll be able to lead. Bullshit. You lead with the fear. You lead with the doubt. You lead with the pain. You get up and you do it again because that's the human journey. If you don't want to deal with these things, then you should have picked you should have picked a different animal to be. Because as a human, That's what you're going to experience all the time. And I get frustrated when people expect the impossible. And I get even more frustrated when people sell the impossible. Sell that there's some kind of way to get over your fear. Bullshit. Sell that there's some kind of way to stop doubting yourself. Bullshit. Sell that there's some kind of way to stop feeling all the pain that you have suppressed in your human body from failures, from disappointments, from all the things that you've done in your past. That's just the reality. You're going to carry around that pain. The question is, are you going to allow those things to stop you or not? The question should not be, are you going to try to get rid of those things, but are you going to let them stop you or not? If you are a person that's not a psychopath, you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to have feelings. You're going to have fears. You can't turn off this mechanism inside your brain that is afraid of things. You can't be afraid. You can't stop being afraid of danger. You can't stop being afraid of dying. You can't stop being afraid of humiliation, of embarrassment, of getting it wrong when we've been programmed to avoid all of those things for so long. And you've got a human brain that's doing everything it possibly can to protect you from danger, to protect you from risk. Your brain is doing everything it can to keep you safe, emotionally safe and physically safe. In the context of this conversation, it's emotional safety that almost everybody is trying to attain. But the only way to attain emotional safety is to avoid emotional danger. That's the game that almost everybody is trying to win. How do I stop wanting to avoid emotional danger? Or how do I get to the place where I can avoid emotional danger? How can I get to the place where I can stop failing? How can I get to the place where I just don't give a shit what everybody thinks? That's not possible. The only way to do that is to become either a non-human or a narcissistic psychopath. You don't want to do either of those things. If you're an emotional, sensitive human, then you're going to feel everything. Now, the good news about that is you get to feel everything. You get to feel happiness. You get to feel joy. You get to feel fulfillment, but you're also going to feel fear. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel humiliation. You're going to feel embarrassment. You're going to feel the things that are connected to you not being good enough to succeed the way you want to succeed. What if you don't get your goals? What if you don't get your dreams? That's the human journey, you guys. Don't let anybody try to sell you bullshit that says they can take that from you. There is no such way to take the human journey from the human. Your brain wants that. Yes. Your intellect wants that. Yes. Your intellect will always want shortcuts so that it can conserve energy, so that it can avoid the risk of danger. Your intellect will always want that. Please don't let anybody sell you the bullshit that that is possible. When it comes to fear, you cannot get rid of the existence of fear, but you can understand it so that it doesn't stop you. That's the thing. You can't get rid of the fear, and that should never be your goal. Step one, get rid of fear. Step two, take action. Bullshit. Step one, feel the fear. Step two, take action anyway, and then figure out what to do with the fear. Most of the time, the fear is irrational. Most of the time, the things you're afraid of are not actually what you're afraid of, nor does it have the power to stop you from taking action unless you give it that power. And we tend to give it that power because we think that we should not have the fear. We think that having fear is a warning sign. Having fear is not a warning sign. It is a welcome sign that you have the audacity to do something that's a little risky. That's all that fear is. It's an indicator that you have ambition inside your bones, that you have dreams, that you have somewhere you want to go and you haven't been there before. So your mind's going to go, not sure we should go there. And you know what? What if it's not safe there? And are we packed? And do we have everything that we need? And what if we fall? And what if they don't like it? And what if they don't buy? That's the way the brain works. The only way to stop that process from happening is to stop having ambition. Stop going after anything beyond your comfort zone. Now, I know none of you want to do that. So the only other option is learn to handle your fear. Learn to deal with the fear. Learn to put fear in the passenger seat. Just don't let it get in the driver's seat and drive your car. That's the only option here. So now, if you understand fear and you're willing to dissect it and you're willing to confront it and you're willing to listen to it and you're willing to ask it questions, what are you actually afraid of? What you'll realize is the things that you think you're afraid of, you're not actually afraid of. The way that fear works is that it generally creates a false fear 2 steps away from what you're actually afraid of. So if you think you're afraid of the thing that your fear has convinced you you're afraid of, you're on the wrong target. You'll never be able to conquer that game because you're not even dealing with the actual issue. So most people, for instance, most people think they're afraid of public speaking. No, you're not. Nobody's afraid of public speaking because you speak in public all the time. Nobody's afraid of public speaking. What you're afraid of is the emotional devastation of what happens if you screw up while public speaking. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of the emotional devastation. Nobody's afraid of flying in airplanes until they learn that airplanes can crash and you can die. So you're not afraid of flying, you're afraid of dying in plane crashes. All of our fears are going to generate 2 steps away from. They're going to generate the fear of something 2 steps away because the brain thinks if I can get you afraid of 2 steps away from the thing that I'm really afraid of, then you won't have the guts to do this action, which won't lead to that action, which won't lead to the thing that I'm actually afraid of. If you're in business, if you want to be a coach, if you're in this personal development world, I can promise you, most of you are more afraid of the spotlight and you're more afraid of success than you are of abandonment and failure. So you can spend all of your time wrestling with these monsters of abandonment and failure and get nowhere. Not that it's totally useless, but it's not the thing. So what happens when you think this is the big boogeyman that you have to overcome, and you overcome it and you go to all the Get Over Your Fears seminars and you read all the books and you do all the things, and now you're no longer afraid of the failure and you're no longer afraid of the abandonment, and then you get smacked upside your head by the real fear of spotlight and success. So if you don't clear the actual fears of spotlight and success, which is probably 99% of the biggest fears for 99% of all people, then you have no chance. And I want you to have a chance. And the other thing that so many people are focused on in the same realm is doubt. Like, I want to do this thing, but I keep doubting myself. Well, great. If you ever figure out how to get rid of your doubt, then send me your link so I can sign up for your damn class. Because there's no such thing as the human being getting rid of doubt. If you're not doubting yourself, you're not dreaming for yourself. Because if you have a dream, that means you want to go somewhere you haven't been before. Your brain better doubt that. Your brain is not just going to jump off the cliff and not worry about whether you have a parachute packed. That's all that doubt is. Dreams come with doubts. You cannot separate the two. But you can get to the point where you don't let the doubt stop you. The human brain doubts, period. But it doubts out of protection. It doesn't doubt out of punishment. If you have a thought that you want to go do something, your brain goes, I don't know if you're good enough to do that thing. It's trying to protect you from the disaster that your fear has of jumping off the cliff without a parachute and then splatting. That emotional destruction is what you're actually afraid of. So the doubt comes in the form of protection against the emotional destruction, but your brain doesn't actually doubt yourself. Your brain loves yourself. Your brain just wants to protect yourself. So if we don't understand that our doubts are actually from protection, and the only thing that we would ever want to protect is something that we care about, so our doubts are actually something that cares about us. If we don't change the relationship that we have to our doubts, we don't have a chance, because you're not going to overpower the doubts that care about you with shame or with urgency or any kind of irrational motivation. That's not the way to get over the doubts that are just protecting you because they care about you. You'll never get over the idea of doubt itself, nor the specific things that you're doubting. But I want you to pay attention to them. Again, I want you to ask questions. What are you doubting? What are you afraid of? And the bottom line is, none of you can be void of doubt when you're trying to do something you haven't done before. You can't get to the point where you doubt whether you can do something, but you don't have to convince yourself that you can do the thing. You don't have to ever convince yourself that you won't fail in order to take action towards some dream or some goal or some endeavor. You don't have to convince yourself that you won't fail. You have to convince yourself that you'll get back up when you do fail. That's the way to put doubt in the passenger seat. Keep doubting and go along for the ride, because I'm going anyway. And I trust myself that I'm going to get back up when I fail. And if I'm doing big things, I will fail. You're not going to climb mountains that are a 70-degree uphill battle and not fall. You're not going to do that. If you're doing anything worthwhile, you're going to fail. You're going to fall. The only question is, are you going to get back up? As long as you put all the eggs of your investments and time and energy and money into not getting knocked down, you won't make it. Because as soon as you do get knocked down, then what do? Then you have to try to convince yourself that this time you won't get knocked down, even though last time you were convinced that you wouldn't get knocked down, you did get knocked down. But how about putting trust in yourself that you're going to get back up no matter what? So then when the doubt creeps in and says, I don't know if I can make it, you can answer it with, me neither, but I know that I'm going to take a shot. You just have to have the courage to act. You don't have to have the confidence to succeed. You have to have the courage to act and then deal with your failure with trust that you're going to get back up. That's the way to handle doubt. Don't try to get rid of it. Use it. Be fueled by it. And when you have the courage to take action, it's going to suck. A lot of things are going to suck. You're going to feel pain. You're going to come face to face with things that you don't ever want to be face to face with. In fact, you've done a lot of work in the course of your life, putting on lenses and putting on layers and putting on protection and putting on shields so that you don't have to feel the things that are required for you to feel to do the work that you have to do, that you've been called to do, that you're committed to. So again, don't try to find the way to avoid the pain. Have the courage to feel the pain. Have the courage to be fueled by the pain that makes you human, that makes you connected to yourself. The more you get connected to yourself, the more you will feel all the things that are in there to feel. The only people that don't feel pain in this kind of context of emotional pain and not afraid of people not liking them and not afraid of the damage they might do to other people are sociopaths. So pick a path. Do you want to go the path of sensitive connectedness, or do you want to go the path of disconnected sociopathy? Pick a path. If you pick a path if you pick this one where you're going to be connected to yourself and you're going to be sensitive, which means you have sensory experiences, then you're going to feel all the shit that you don't want to feel. That's why in this journey, and anything that requires you to grow as a person and anything that requires you to evolve, you should not be trying to make it easy. You should get support when it gets hard. And you should prepare yourself when it gets hard. And you should trust yourself that you'll keep going, you'll keep kicking, you'll keep taking a shot when it gets hard. If you're not prepared for when it gets hard and you have the expectation that it will always be easy, or you have the ability to take hard and turn it easy, you'll fail, and I'd rather you not even try, because there is no chance that you succeed making a hard journey easy. And if you've decided that you're going to do this thing called personal development, it's hard. It's emotionally hard. You don't get to change the rules of the game. You only have the option to learn the rules of the game and prepare yourself for the rules of the game, and then you have a chance to win. I'm going to stop here, not because I want to, but because I've only given myself 20 minutes. For those of you that are in the coaching world, we teach all of this, the deep stuff, the real stuff, the truth about coaching, about the process, about success, about what you actually need to grow a coaching business, to get clients, to do this work so that you can have neurotransformational leadership in your bones, in your body, in your cells, and then use that to fuel your business. We teach all of that at ECCP. I don't have time right now to tell you more about it, but if you want to explore it, go to coachshansmith.com/ECCP. We've got one coming up in May. That's all I'll say now. I'll see you in the next video.